everybody. Welcome back to Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network. I am your host, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the wise Wisconsinite, the sugar-free Mr. Jesse Douglas.
How's it going?
Hi, Jesse.
I was gonna sing some Beatles songs, but
I don't want to get that.
I've got a feeling.
Wow.
A feeling I can't hide. Oh no.
Okay, there's our the strike. There's our strike. Oh no. Also joining us is the joy of EXP Cast, the joy of Arsenal X, Stoy Jovic.
Hello. That's
Nice.
about all I got.
That's it?
Did anybody pick up any good beers over Black Friday?
No,
No.
Okay.
I did not.
Yeah, I didn't do a lot. I didn't honestly do a lot on Black Friday. I mean, I did a lot, but I was really lucky and was able to just get what I needed right away.
One place I went to, the reason why I bring this up, it's a place called Broken Bat Brewery. And I went there on Friday night to pick up this winter ale. And the Bucks game was on, so I decided to sit down, grab a beer, grab it on tap, and watch the game. Now, there was a really annoying fella right to my left that was talking the entire time. And I'm like, whatever, I'm just here, just drinking a beer and trying to watch the Bucks game. Now, the music was playing. And you know that one song that goes, "It's been 1 week since you looked at me."
Yeah, Bare Naked Ladies.
Sorry. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so this guy proceeded to sing the entire song underneath his breath.
Yeah.
The entirety of it. Every single lyric, every single sound, he sung it underneath his breath. And I think that would be more annoying than if he just belted it loudly. Yeah. The fact that it was underneath his breath and I'm acutely hearing it, every single note. Sorry. I'm just like, man, just ruined my experience.
Well,
Black Friday was going so well that day.
Maybe that was a hint that he wanted you to join him, Stoy.
No.
Everybody loves.
He should have taken that. Should have taken that hit right from the start.
Everybody loves a little B&L, guys.
No one likes. No one.
Everybody likes B&L.
Okay. No one does.
The Chinese chicken.
It's funny because, like,
both
on their real,
you guys need to stop.
On their real albums, they call themselves Bare Naked Ladies, but on their children's albums, they're just called B&L.
Wait, they have children's albums?
Yeah, they have like 3 of them.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I didn't. Yeah,
I just know because like I was looking them up on Spotify.
So why even use BNL? Like, why just not just give yourself a different name if you're making kids albums? Because some kid is gonna be like, "What's BNL stand for?" Bare Naked Ladies. Like,
yeah.
Just change your name.
Yeah.
Just change your name.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like that song. I don't like it. I don't like it when you sing it out loud. I don't like it when you sing it underneath your breath. Yeah. So that's my experience. Now every time I drink this beer, that song pops in my head. So thanks, Broken Bat, for giving me that experience.
You could sing a better BNL song though.
No. Like, I'm gonna have to look up the lyrics.
Like Old Apartment.
What's the name of that song?
$1 Million. What? 1 week? 1 week.
Yeah.
1 week.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 week lyrics.
Okay. Grade 9 is better.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me, cocked your head to the side, and said, "I'm angry." 5 days since you laughed at me, saying, "Get that together, come back and see me."
Yep.
3 days since
you're gonna get us a strike. You know, if you read lyrics on the show, you get striked.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to read it in the most monotone way.
You sound just
Chickadee
like
China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. Watching X-Files with no lights on.
Yep. And then because like
the Smoky Man's in this
one of my old podcasts, a host would read song lyrics at the beginning of every podcast, and Anchor deleted our podcast.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't even sing them. He just read them.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
You're not making money. Like, were you guys making money? Like, were you monetized?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Like, you're not making money off of that.
Remember, Jesse? Matt would read song lyrics at the beginning of every show. Yeah. And I tried to move it. I tried to move it all to Anchor when Anchor became a thing off of Podbean, so I didn't have to pay for Podbean anymore. And they, after like, I uploaded like the 20 episodes, and they straight up deleted the podcast.
Wow.
Because they said we were
I'm
using.
actually surprised because all the times Josh would spit Limp Bizkit, like straight start to finish.
Yeah.
I mean, I played the Hamilton music once during the podcast when Josh and Pat were arguing about something. So I put the cabinet meeting song. And I forget what episode it was off top, but I think it was like the Lego Nintendo set, and both of them were arguing. Josh thinks it was stupid. Pat really loved it. So I put the cabinet meeting song. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to do it because we may get canceled. But yeah, I put that on in the background. I'm surprised we didn't get C&D'd on that one.
Yeah, maybe it's just because he did it right off the bat in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
No, it was right in the middle. It was right in the middle. So maybe that
no, I'm talking about, that's why they got rid of those episodes, is just because it was really super easy to find. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Oh, well.
I suppose that's why you got to have your best content in the first 5 minutes. You got to hook them in. You got to be like, all right, this guy hates bare naked ladies. This man speaks to me, so I want to keep listening to this.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Oh.
You know what? That's fair.
Then Corey represents the people who like them, and I represent the people who are indifferent to it all.
And then you just brought in the Beatles fans. You just brought in Beatles fans.
It's true.
So thanks for that, I guess. Yeah. So we got a little bit something.
Look at
for
us.
everybody here.
Diversity.
Hey, look at us.
It's what we live for.
This is the most Corey has ever talked about music in his life.
It is. You are correct. What? The fact that you guys should stop singing lyrics so we don't get our podcast deleted? That's
fair enough. Fair enough.
That's all right.
I have to make up my own songs, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll think of something.
Yeah, it's all right. Anybody do anything fun over Thanksgiving though? I guess.
Just I got most of my my shopping for Christmas done.
Nice.
I saw the Resident Evil movie.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Did you? Nice.
Yeah. I loved it.
Good.
Granted, and this was the interesting thing because we fought about this. Josh and I fought about this when we recorded this weekend because the three of us saw it. It was me, Josh, and Dan. I mean, we saw it in the theater, and Josh didn't like it. Dan was kind of indifferent about it, and I loved it. But, like, it was funny because I had a couple minor complaints about the movie, but it didn't sour my experience of the whole movie. And Josh couldn't understand that because it's like, it's one of those things, like, if it's a minor inconvenience for him, he thinks it's the end of the world. And he's probably going to hit me for saying that. But, I mean, that's what we kind of gauged on. I was like, just because I didn't like that part of the movie doesn't mean the whole movie was trash for me. It was just like, okay, that's an interesting story mechanic that they went with, but I'm still having fun watching the movie. I'm still enjoying the direction that they took.
Yeah.
Because my main complaint was, how are they going to do my man Leon like that? Yeah. They did my man Leon so bad on that. So bad on it.
Yeah, Nelly.
It's not the fact that and I think Nelly agrees with me on this. It's not the fact that like when you look at him, Leon's like a purebred, like country boy white kid, with parted hair and stuff like that. And they hired a guy that's half Jordanian, half Canadian, so he doesn't fit the Leon Kennedy that we know from the video games. But it's fine because like if they tested him out and he auditioned and he did a good job, then give him the part, Yeah. So, but the fact that they made him kind of a bumbling idiot in the movie, and just this like drunk rookie that just like is a piece of shit. Like that was my problem because I'm like, Leon's badass.
Yeah, what? They made him a drunk idiot?
Well, yeah, they kind of made him like a dumb rookie. He's like, oh yeah, your daddy got you a job as a cop. Oh, didn't you shoot your last partner in the butt? Oh wow, the only reason why you're here is because your daddy put in a good word and this and that. And like, everyone's yelling at him because you're just a fucking rookie and this and that. I'm like, don't talk to Leon like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a couple other story bits that I'm like, I'm gonna save, because spoilers. But like, man, like they just did him wrong. They did him wrong. But if it fits in the overall story mechanic, it's fine because I think they wanted to do that to elevate Claire a little bit, because Claire Redfield was kind of the main character of the story. So in the last half of the movie, it was Claire and Leon. So I think they wanted to make Claire look a little bit more powerful than Leon. I think that was kind of where they were going with that. If that's the case, and that's fine, I guess. It wouldn't be the way I do it to make Claire strong and powerful, because she is strong and powerful. She doesn't need to have someone lowered to elevate her. You know, it's just kind of like a poor writing mechanic. So if that's what they initially went for, then I'm like, okay, all right, come on, that's just lazy writing. But overall, the rest of the movie I enjoyed.
Okay. Yeah, I still got to see it, obviously. I've seen a lot of.
Are you a fan of Have you played the Resident Evil games?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Resident Evil 2, like the original Resident Evil 2 was like my favorite game of all time. Like period.
Hell yeah, buddy.
I absolutely love the remake. So like they did it so well.
Yeah.
They redid it so well that
and that's the funny thing. So there's so many nods to these games. Like you remember in the remake, in the first scene with the truck driver, he pulls out that greasy ass burger and takes a big bite of it. Yeah. They have that in the movie. It's so amazing. I laughed out loud. I laughed out loud when that scene happened. I was like, "Oh hell yeah!" And Jan asked me after the movie, he's like, "What did you laugh? What was that laugh about?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Trey from Resident Evil 2 remake." There was a scene where someone wrote on the window "Itchy Tasty," which is a nod to a diary entry in the first game. There's obviously there's a piano door opening sequence where they're playing the Moonlight Sonata. That's from the first game. Yeah. So there's so many different like nods to the fans here, but they tell a really good story because they literally take the first game and the second game and mash it into one. So it's all like one big story.
Okay.
So you have the people going to the Spencer Mansion in Resident Evil 1 at the same time the city is about ready to burn.
Okay.
And everyone's trying to get out of the city because Umbrella is going to waste the entire city.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm looking
Corey.
forward to it.
Oh, is this movie set in the Lance Reddick Wesker universe? Are they connected at all, or are they just separate?
This is completely Lance Reddick universe.
Yeah, like cast Lance Reddick as Wesker in the other show that they're doing on Netflix.
Oh no, this is something totally separate.
Okay, I just didn't know if they were doing like a separate thing or not.
No, that TV show sounds like hot garbage. I don't want to get anywhere near that. But at least the direction that they're going with, from what I understand. But no, this is completely separate. I think they're rebooting the entire series because they left it open for a sequel, and there's a credit scene. So,
does it have Nemesis in it?
No Nemesis.
No.
Nope. Just William Birkin, Monster William Birkin's in it. So, okay. They stayed true to the first two games, with the characters and stuff, and a lot of the goings-ons. But there are obviously a few omissions, like Barry Burton's not in there.
What?
For whatever reason. Yeah, I know. Like, that was interesting.
There's no Jill Sandwich joke?
No, there's a Jill Sandwich joke. But and it's kind of funny because she's like teasing Wesker at some restaurant, and she's like, "Ha, this is now a Jill sandwich." And I laughed out loud, and I was like, "That's not where I would have put it, but that's fine." So yeah, they made a few small changes to the lore just to keep it fresh. Like Claire and Chris Redfield were strays. They were basically runaways, so to speak, when they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And William Birkin kind of raised Chris Redfield as his own son, so to speak. That was the premise of the story. And but just no Barry Burton, bro.
God, Barry's like the best part.
I know, no kidding. And Josh and I talked about that in length because, with Wesker being the baddest of the bad, right? They didn't write him that way in the movie. And Barry Burton would have been was always a good palate cleanser between the really bad Albert Wesker in the game, and then you either being Chris or Jill, and then Barry is just kind of stuck in the middle between doing what's right, but also having to appease the bad guy because, they kidnapped his family, so to speak, in the game. So there wasn't any of that in the movie, which I hoped they would have put in there, but we got what we got.
Okay.
Yeah,
well.
in my opinion, anything is better than those first ones. I hated.
Admittedly, the second Resident Evil 2 movie, the second one, was really good. Really good. It was probably the best out of all the Mila Jovovich ones.
Yeah.
Because that was very true to Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's been a long time since because I've watched most of them. I don't think I watched the last one.
I didn't watch the last 3. I think after the third movie, I was like, nah, they're going way off rails here.
Yeah.
So
they were just trying too hard to make it a action movie.
Yeah.
And not really.
Well, yeah, and I heard they were just throwing in characters just for the hell of it. Like they threw in Leon Kennedy in like the 4th or 5th one. I was like, what are you throwing him in there for? You don't need to, but you're throwing him in there just to say, hey, video game fans, we put Leon Kennedy in there, and it's like, nah, you can't just throw him in there and think that's gonna make me happy.
It's true.
Yeah,
you cannot do that.
Yeah.
No. Too late. You already screwed it up. Putting Leon Kennedy in there isn't gonna make me come back to your movies.
What are you doing?
Right? So anyway, like I said, is it the direction I would have taken? No. Is it what we got? Yes. Is it interesting the way the liberties that they took with the story to keep it fresh but also familiar? Yes, they did a really good job with that. And like I said, my only complaint is how are they gonna do my boy Leon like that?
Yeah, that is kind of a bummer. Because, I seen the newest Ghostbuster movie, and I absolutely loved it. And so, I wanted to see the Resident Evil movie. And, and I trust you and Nelly as far as, like, your enjoyment of it.
Nelly and I got to, sit down one of these days when she comes back. Her and I got to sit down and talk Resident Evil.
You guys...
Laurent told me about her from the start.
You guys should... Because we're going to bring Standard Def back as like a retro nostalgia-based show instead of like a dumb conversational show, because that's what Boss Rush Podcast is now.
Yeah.
You and Nelly should sit down and do a whole series for Resident Evil, the movies.
The movies?
Or whatever, I guess.
I'll do...
Or a game.
I'll do the games. Please don't make me watch those movies.
No, we're going to make you watch all the movies.
I'll watch the second one. I'll do that. Just don't make me watch the other ones.
Yeah.
But no, I would love to. I would love to sit down and talk Resident Evil games with her. So it'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool. All right, you can do that then. Yeah.
Anyway, that was the coolest thing I did. I did some shopping. That was about it.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. I purchased Control Ultimate Edition for $11, and by 11 I mean like 7, because I had a couple dollars left on a gift card, an Xbox gift card.
Nice.
So I got that.
Such a good game.
I know. I played it originally, and I was like, I feel like the terrible frame rate really hindered my experience with that game. So I'm like, you know what? I want to go back. I want to give it another try. I beat it, but I want to play it again. And then there's DLC that I want to play.
So the frame rate, when you play it in performance mode, it is, man, masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. It's the way the game should have been from day one.
It was on one particular platform. That PC, as they say.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then we did the first night of Hanukkah tonight. So that was fun.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Today is the first day.
Yeah. My kids got gifts, so that was cool. My wife got a watch, smart watch. I got some cologne.
Cool.
It's cool. It was cool. So that was my.
Do you guys do Jesse? Do you do Saint Nick? I mean, that's a Wisconsin thing.
Yeah, we have, like, cause.
Wait, what's this? What's that?
Yeah, Well, Saint Nick is where the whole tradition of Santa Claus exists, comes from. Like Saint Nick, so Saint Nick is like he died on December 6th, and so they celebrate him. He was rich, and like didn't
he knows the full story. Damn.
Yeah, he was rich, and he didn't need all that money, and so he would help like the poor, and like he's considered the saint of like protecting children and sailors, I believe. And so
those two go together.
Yeah, there's
Jesse knows more about this than I do.
There's stories literally of him like saving kids from being put into slavery and stuff like that. So I've been kind of reading up on it over the years, just because I was just kind of curious where all that kind of stuff comes from.
Yeah, because that's technically where the Santa Claus thing came from, was from Saint Nick, because he would give gifts secretly to people, to children. And he'd just be like, bap, 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 here you go. And then like, oh, where'd this come from? Who knows?
Yep.
So yeah, Santa Claus came from this dude.
Yeah. And then the Dutch in New York started celebrating it in like the 1700s. And then that's when it slowly became what it is today. And they would do it, on Christmas and stuff as well. But
cool. I did not know that.
So my Saint Nick is different because I grew up in an Orthodox household, and Serbians, we have Saints Days where we celebrate. Every family has like a patron saint that they celebrate. So like every year on the particular day, we have a big dinner and a feast all day. We invite friends, family, whatever. So our day is Saint Nicholas, and that's on December 19th. It's Orthodoxy. Okay. So it's always like, I think it's always supposed, like, whatever the traditional Catholic calendar is, it's always 2 weeks behind. So that makes sense why it's on the 19th. But so what we would do is we would put it, when I was a kid, I would put a shoe on the windowsill, and then I would get a gift in the shoe. And a lot of times when I was a kid, I got Game Boy games. It was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't have anything.
There's actually a really good movie that I like. It's told from I believe it's I think it's a Norwegian movie, but it kind of tells like a rough story of kind of about him, and it's called Christmas Story. There's A Christmas Story, which is the one with the leg lamp, but then there's one called just Christmas Story, and that's just about him and how he was it's kind of closer to the one that you're celebrating, where he would put gifts in their wooden shoes, their wooden clogs, and he was a woodworker, so he made his toys he would carve them from wood, and then just go in his dog sled or whatever, and would at night deliver the toys to the kids in the towns nearby.
What a nice history lesson everybody's getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for choosing Arsenal X, the history podcast.
Yeah,
not to be confused with the movie American History X.
Yeah.
Definitely not that.
Yeah.
For sure. So, anyway,
I learned things today, guys. Wow.
Yeah, I kind of did too. Yeah.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Well, so we have questions for the first time on this podcast in a while. I want to shout those out. Where do we want to? So we haven't really talked about this because we haven't really gotten them yet. Where do we want to put these questions in the show? Do we want to answer them at the beginning? Do we want to?
Yeah, let's do them in the beginning.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for making that executive decision, Stoy. Proud of you.
It just makes sense, especially since like you got people that tune in, they want to listen to the beginning of the podcast, so it's almost like nice to have it like in the first like 15-20 minutes. So
or the first 27 and a half minutes.
Has it been 27 and a half minutes?
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
It's It's all right. It's all right. Remember, you can email the show, arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. You can leave a comment on the last episode on YouTube, or you can tweet at us at Boss Rush Network with the hashtag ArsenalX. We get a question. We got 2 questions this week, guys. Remember, we also post a thing in our Discord and on Twitter asking for questions as well, so you can look for that post as well. Sam Hall writes in. He says, "Hey fellas, I've been listening to Boss Rush content for a long time, and Nintendo Power Block even longer. For an early Christmas gift, from my girlfriend, I got my first Xbox ever with a Series S. Oh no.
Congratulations.
A Series S and a subscription to Game Pass Ultimate. Nice.
Congratulations.
Should put a ring on that.
Nice.
Yeah, it really should, honestly.
So I recently started giving Arsenal X a try and have to say I love what I'm hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know you switched it up a little bit since last year, and what you're doing is awesome. Now for my question. What games or series are must-play for Xbox? Thanks for all you do at Boss Rush. Well, Sam, thanks for writing in. I know you write in the Nintendo Power Block often, so thank you. Thank you for checking out Arsenal X. We appreciate you. Series. Man, I feel like Halo and Gears are like the go-tos for everyone, right? Like I feel like we shouldn't mention that. Although all the Gears games did get frame rate boosts and I guess on Series S up to 1440p resolution. So you should check that out.
Yeah, and that kind of answers the second question, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into racing games, you have a bevy of different Forza games. The only problem is that he has it on a Series. He has a Series S.
Yeah, but
he can't the only Forza game that he can download is Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, he can download 4.
Is 4 still available?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 3 just got kicked off. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4, you could download Forza Horizon 4 and 5 still.
Yeah.
To this day, and obviously that's free with your Game Pass subscription.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks because I was a big fan. I'm still a big fan of the motorsport series, of more of the simulation racing. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, the motorsport series would be a really good thing to get.
Yeah.
Into.
So Forza, if you're into racing games, also like all the Need for Speed games are on Game Pass Ultimate with EA, right? The Dirt games are on there. Dirt 5, I know a lot of people. What?
The Dirt games are awesome.
Yeah. So Dirt 5 is that was the racing game they were promoting at the launch of the console, so I would give that a try. I remember that was okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're into racing games, that's Game Pass has a lot. I was in the racing thing just now, and there's a lot. It's actually racing and flying. So
yeah,
technically, also the Flight Simulator Game of the Year edition has plane racing in it now, so you could go do that, which is neat, I guess.
It's fun.
Yeah.
So you can go to I know if you go to Xbox.com, you can access the list and kind of see from there. But
I'm actually going to post a list on our website as well on probably either Monday or Tuesday. So by the time this posts, there will probably be a list of backwards compatible and frame rate boosted. What do you call it? Backwards compatible games. So
very cool.
Yeah, like one of the games that I always suggest to people, if you like horror games and stuff, because Xbox has the backwards compatibility, there's so many games that you may have missed in the past. But the Condemned Criminal Origins is a really good horror game from the 360 era, and that I played it fairly recently all the way through again, and it still holds up pretty well with the little bit of touches to that game to make it perform better. So
very cool. Scrolling through the list, this just reminded me that Battletoads was exclusive to Xbox.
Oh yeah,
and that's on Game Pass, and that game is probably one of the funniest games I think you'll ever play, because it has that really kind of edgy, really funny, quirky animation style, kind of like reminiscent of like Adventure Time meets Rick and Morty. So it's really cool cut scenes, but the fighting is really good, and it's less punishing than the Nintendo version. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and I know a lot of people really didn't care for it. It didn't bother me too much. I wasn't a fan of like the art style, but yeah, like once I actually played it, it really isn't that bad. Like
Yeah,
as
no,
far as
I love it.
gameplay-wise.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't care what you say, Jesse. I don't care what you say. I love it.
Yeah. Also, I want to throw out. I know you listen to Nintendo Power Block. If you're looking for like a Zelda style experience, sort of, I would say Fable, specifically Fable 2, is awesome. Rare Replay is also on there, so you can play those old games. I actually think Fable 2 is like doesn't get talked about enough when you talk about classic Xbox games. Fable 2 is awesome.
Yeah. I think it's just so
honestly, it really is.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been thinking
I think
about
it's just been so long. It's been overlooked because it's been a while.
I know. In like the last couple Fable games that came out, like remember they had that Connect only one, and then they had that the side scrolling Fable Heroes thing, and then they had that weird 4v1 game that they canceled. Like they've had a lot of misses, I think. And I think the second half of 3 I don't think a lot of people really liked. So I would definitely check out Fable 2 if you haven't played it already.
Yeah.
Also got a frame rate and resolution boost as well.
Didn't the anniversary of the anniversary version did too?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, but Fable 2 is
yeah.
a lot better. Like Fable 1 is okay if you want to like check out the history of the series, but like Fable 2 is where it's at for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's gonna what? Go ahead, Stoy.
I was gonna say if you're, I know. I mean, Marvel's Avengers has always been a hot topic lately, especially with the whole monetization BS that they're going through. So if you want to try the game out, just see if you like it. That's on Game Pass, and that's the kind of nice thing about Game Pass is that maybe Xbox is lacking a little bit in some of the first party titles that maybe he's looking for. But if there's other games that it's like, well, I want to give that game a try, but I don't know if I want to spend the $60 on it. That's why Game Pass is really good, because it's like you can give it a shot and you can try it out. So like that's one that it's like, would I have spent $60 to play Marvel Avengers? Probably not, but like you can actually play it on Game Pass and see if you like it yourself.
Yeah. I have a few more that are in Game Pass, by the way, that you should definitely check out. And Stoy, I'm surprised you didn't bring this up. Sunset Overdrive, arguably one of the best exclusives on Xbox One.
Still to this day. I mean, honestly, it is probably top 5 for me on Xbox One.
If you played Control, if you like Control, Quantum Break is on there, which is essentially the prequel to Control, like a spiritual prequel. It was really good. There's a lot of cool TV episodes that you can watch in between, too, that, they try to make your decisions in the game affect the episodes, which they do a little bit. Not as much as I think they wanted you to think it does, but Quantum Break is really good. Also, the entire Wolfenstein series on Game Pass.
Yep.
Jedi Fallen Order, Game Pass Ultimate. Just play that.
The Ascent, actually. That's a really good cyberpunk over-the-top action game if you're into that sort of thing. It's kind of like a twin-stick shooter type.
Yeah.
So.
And
Procession to Calvary, Corey, is available on Game Pass.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Sam's going to hear more about that later, so stay tuned.
If you like Animal Crossing, check out Viva Pinata. That's all I have to say.
Or not.
No.
That's okay.
You know what, Stoy? No. Shut your mouth.
Sorry.
This is going to lead us into our next question. At Breakman90 on Twitter tweeted at us and says, with the announcement of FPS Boost is on hold for the time being, what are your favorite games that receive the treatment on Series X? Gears of War, the entire series, now runs at 60 frames a second, now runs at 1440p or 4K. I played Gears 2 the other day. The game looks totally different at 60 frames and a higher resolution. The game looks awesome. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe I was playing the 360 version of this game. Like, it was awesome. It made me like, as much as I've been wanting like a Marcus Phoenix collection of Gears games, of like Gears the original trilogy, and you can throw Judgment in there, I guess. Like, just playing Gears 2 at this fidelity was like, I don't think we need one. I think this is perfect. You know, the only thing nice would be to have like a multiplayer suite of like all the levels, but let's be honest, gridlock's in every Gears game, and you know that's the only level anybody ever likes to play. So yeah. But Gears,
I talked about this. I'm going to talk about this later, but Dragon Age Origins.
I saw you playing that earlier.
Yeah, that looks good. Like for a really old Xbox 360 game, that looks and runs really well. Like almost like just kind of like you remember it. Like you remember playing it for the first time, and you remember being wowed and blown away by the graphics, the frame rates, the animation, and stuff like that. Whatever. And then if you were to take that game and it's in that form and then play it now, it's like, oh man, I remember this completely different. But with this frame rate boost and the fidelity improvements, like it's like you're playing it for the first time again. And that's what I got when I'm playing Origins again. I'm like, everything is running really smooth.
Yeah.
And it looks great, even though it's like 360 graphics, but still everything looks and runs good. And wow. So
wow. Yeah, Oh, go ahead, Jesse.
For me, the first thing I jumped into that I wanted to jump into was Titanfall 2. So yeah, that like playing that at 60 frames is just excellent, because I actually want to play through the entire campaign again, because that to this day is like one of my all-time favorite campaigns in a first-person shooter. So
hands down, probably one of the best, if not the best.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was super excited to go back to that once that was added to the list. So
Evil Within 2 got I mean, it's not hugely notable, but it got I played that a few months ago, and that got a really good frame rate boost. So runs real well.
Cool.
Yeah, I have both of those games, and I still haven't touched either of them.
I need to.
I know, and I need to just play those. I think
they're so good.
Yeah,
man. Also, like the original Assassin's Creed, I know it probably doesn't hold up gameplay wise, but man, that game looks really good now. It runs at 60. It runs at man. There's so many great games. Like the entire Dishonored series now runs at 60 frames, right? Like I think if you are into Deathloop, if you played that, or Prey, like you should definitely check out Dishonored. It looks awesome.
One thing I do want to get back to, I never completed Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Ooh.
And to see that get a frame rate boost, I'm really itching to get back into that. That one and Mad Max. Mad Max is the game that it's like I always try to remember every year I have to get to this game and actually play it. And I always forget. So maybe this will get me to play it.
Well, lucky for you.
I just started that.
Lucky for you, Mad Max runs at 120 frames a second now.
And I don't have a TV that runs that.
Just saying, you could if you wanted.
I could if I wanted to, yes.
Also, all the Lego games now run at 120 frames a second. If you were cared about your Lego bricks moving that fast.
Yeah, I guess so.
Man, there's so many good. I'm just like skimming the list right now. There's so many great games that have been enhanced. It's just Recore, 60 frames.
Yeah, seriously, Recore is one of the most underrated games probably that's been an Xbox exclusive. I know it had a troubled start.
Yeah, it did. And it once the definitive edition came out, I think it really it fixed everything that was wrong with it. And once you played that version, it was a phenomenal game, but it was marred by, I think, that bad publicity from the start.
Yeah. Because it's essentially what Returnal did. Obviously Returnal has a little bit more polish and stuff. Yeah, because it's it's made for the newer consoles.
Actually, I likened Recore more to Metroid. It was the 3D Metroid that a lot of people were asking for that we kind of got. Even though it's not first person, it was kind of that same Metroidvania style, large open world, desolate planet type thing.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to mention, and I know you guys are probably going to roll your eyes or laugh or something, but Sonic Generations, Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed all got...
I'll give you Sonic Generations. And All-Star Racing actually holds up.
Yeah, All-Star Racing
All-Star
is like
Racing is probably one of the best Mario Kart games.
Yeah. It's Sonic Generations, man, looks totally different because it also got the I think the 1440p boost in resolution, and it just looks like an entirely different game. I was watching Digital Foundry's frame rate boost thing. They were like the Sonic games are something we are looking at. It looks ridiculous how terrible it ran on the Xbox 360 compared to what it looks like now. Also, all the Tomb Raider games have enhancements. I will always fight for those.
Yeah.
I seriously thought we were going to talk about this for like 5 seconds, and we've spent 10 minutes on it. I'm just saying that the Series X and the Series S have so many great features that 95% of the people that buy these consoles won't care about, right? But like, they're great enhancements, improvements on the games that we've already purchased. It's awesome. I love this. This is why I love Xbox. This is why I love my Xbox. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it's got so many opportunities. You can revisit old games again, and we're talking like old games, like, games that are well over 10 years old that you can go revisit again.
Yeah.
And still retain a lot of that. It looks better now.
Yeah. So. Oh, I forgot the big one, guys. Untitled
Operation
Goose
Raccoon
Game.
City?
No. Untitled Goose Game now runs at 120 frames a second. So, you're welcome. Although Operation Raccoon City is on this list.
Yeah. I'm actually excited for that one because that one was another underrated game. It was actually made by some of the developers that developed SOCOM.
Yeah.
I don't think the original developers, it wasn't Zipper Interactive. It was Slant 6. But I think they did a really good job. It was like a really good filler story in between Resident Evil 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a really good, fun combat co-op game. Like, I loved it when it came out.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
Well, maybe we should do a team let's play of it and figure it out.
You want to? I freaking have it, man.
Yeah.
Don't you do this to me, Corey.
I will play it with you, and we'll figure it out.
Okay. All right, man. I'm in.
It's not on Game Pass, though, is it?
No, it's not.
Shoot. Now I got to go look for it in the store. Is it on sale? Is it part of this sale? Operation.
I don't know, actually.
Raccoon. Wait. There it is.
$20.
I'm
trying to remember what that.
I think it's good because you get 2 full campaigns in it. You play as like the Umbrella Special Forces, and then you play as like the kind of like super elite Russian Umbrella team as well.
Yeah.
So it's like you're getting like 2 different stories, and you can actually kill Leon Kennedy in this if you want. Pretty cool.
Well, I was gonna use this $20 for the Assassin's Creed Valhalla season pass, but I guess I'm.
Are you playing as Hunk technically?
Well, one of them. I mean, they're kind of. I think Hunk makes an appearance in this, but okay. You're not.
Well,
playing
Stoy, it's installing to my Series S, so.
All right, let's go.
We'll do that this week, maybe sometime.
I'll have to pull out the physical copy of it. So anyway,
physical copy, those things. Well, I guess we can get into the show now since we're done answering questions and talking about our week.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in with questions. We really appreciate it.
Keep them coming. Yeah. Keep them coming. We want them. We want them in our mouths. So succulent, so juicy questions.
We like to spend a lot of time and help you out.
Yeah.
All right. Little housekeeping. This is Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week we get together with our friends from around the internet to talk about Xbox and everything we love about it. including news, rumors, new games, Game Pass, and more. Check out Arsenal X live on Sunday nights on twitch.tv/Boss Network at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, or on podcast services and YouTube every Tuesday morning. Follow us on all social media platforms at Boss Rush Network, and if you tweet at us, use the hashtag ArsenalX. You can catch all of our podcast reviews, banter pieces, and more on our website, bossrush.net. Also, guys, I promised that there would be a merch update. Well, guess what, guys? Guess what? The Boss Rush store is open. It is officially open. We have Arsenal X merch. You go to redbubble.com/Boss Network. You can go there or go to our website, bossrush.net, and click the store icon in the menu. It'll take you right there. We have 3 different colors of Arsenal X logos. We got green, we got navy, and we've got white. We've also got Stoy's perfect catchphrase. Sick. In big impact font with the logo underneath. So,
I'm in.
very excited. We're going to have more coming up soon. Just want to let everybody know that the store is now open. You can also get logos from your favorite shows, Boss Rush Network, generic tees, that kind of stuff. You can support our writing team by buying the Boss Rush writing team shirt. That'd be cool too. That's all. That's the update. Go there, buy something, be happy. You can also buy stickers. Stickers are cool. Everybody likes a good sticker, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's jump into what we've been playing. Stoy. Jesse, I know you guys want to talk about Deer Simulator like we promised last week. We promised. I think this is a good thing. We pick a dumb game on Game Pass every week to talk about as a group, and then we can talk about what we've all been playing individually. But Deer Simulator.
Are you guys happy?
I laughed a lot. I like how they make you go through this whole character creation thing, and then within the first 5 seconds, you get hit by a car and resurrect as a deer. Spoilers for Deer Simulator, I guess.
That's what I think I told someone on our podcast. It's like you spend all this time on this character creator, and it's like super detailed.
Spent a lot of time.
You change the neck size. You can change the neck size, nose size, color, the costume, everything, and then first 5 seconds of the game, bam, you get hit.
I probably spent like 15 minutes making my character. I was like, I wonder if you just kind of can warp into the deer and then you warp back to do other missions. No.
Well, from what I understand, and this didn't happen to me, and I think I may have a reason why it didn't happen to me, but apparently Josh beat the game, and he said that character shows up at the end.
Oh.
So it's somehow they do make an appearance. So.
I don't know if I believe that.
But yeah, I don't either because I didn't see it because I beat the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say, if you kind of run through it pretty quickly, you could beat it in like 2-3 hours. But if you know what the hell you're doing, because the game doesn't tell you what to do. It just basically starts you out where it's like, hey, you're a deer running around in a really poorly programmed city. And, oh, look, there's a handgun on the ground. Bam.
God,
take your antlers off.
It controls so bad.
It's so bad. It's so garbage. Like, can you imagine being a playtester of this game and saying, like, oh, man, this controls suck. And the developer's like, yeah, we did that on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, sure.
The controls are so bad. Also, the right stick, I don't know if it's because I was playing it in the cloud, like the cloud version, because I didn't want to wait for it to download, so I just played it through the cloud, which is moving
really fast.
Which is a great feature. Yeah.
No, it was doing that with me, and I straight downloaded it. So, no, It was moving really fast. Like sometimes when you get swarmed by, say for example, you're destroying things in town, and all of a sudden the cops get mobilized to your location, and those cops come in the form of sheep. And they can swarm your position pretty quickly if you're not quick enough. So you use your antler guns, or you could grab the ninja sword that you find sometimes and slash away at them. Or if you have Uzis on your chin, you can blast them with those too.
Did you play the weird game against the cows, like the weird cow game?
Othello.
Yeah.
That game's fixed. There's something wrong with that game.
I won.
You won? No,
yeah. The first try, I won. I
Don't lie.
promise you,
No,
I won.
didn't. Not even on the first try. Get out of here.
I won. It's an
Fine.
achievement.
No,
I
you
got
didn't.
the achievement. I think.
Whatever.
just-
You must have broke the game. Did you use a game genie?
Yeah.
I played that game 3 times.
I downloaded
and
the
every
Game
time
Genie
I was
emulator.
every time I was winning, all of a sudden the last move, somehow the enemy AI just beats me, and I'm like, how the?
Let's see. Achievements.
I love.
When
love
at
the,
Caldello, I got it. It's right there. It's worth 50 points. I got it.
Wow, 50 points.
Mhm.
Yeah, I loved the when the police cars showed up. Like at first, it just looks like police cars,
Yeah.
but then it's just them strapped to the back of bears.
Yeah, polar bears all of a sudden have cars strapped onto them.
Hold on.
Did everybody encounter Doggo?
Doggo?
Yeah,
No.
that's the one. That's the really fast one, isn't it? Like the one
No.
that.
No, the big mech, the big dog mech.
Oh no, I didn't get.
Uh-oh.
I didn't get to that one yet.
Oh man, you guys barely played this game.
I
So,
did. I
like-
only played it for like maybe an hour.
That's a shame, you guys. It's a shame.
Hey, I had to make sure I got to the other game, Procession of Cavalry, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was the more chaos you rack up, the more police response happens. So like for example, you encounter Doggo afterwards, after the police response becomes immense. So it's basically a dog head strapped to the body of a bunny rabbit that's upside down, and his long ears become legs, and then on the bottom of those legs get attached to sheep. So the sheep are feet, the bunny rabbit is the torso and the legs, and then you have polar bears for arms, and the shoulder pads are like police cars. So you have to fight this monstrosity somehow, and eventually, you beat it through whatever. And there's actually a mech, a Metal Gear mech, but they call it Metal Deer later on. Oh,
Nice.
they're very tongue in cheek with it because you encounter like Metal Deer Mark II later on in the game. So like, yeah, let me try to remember. It's like the mech has like tigers for arms. I'm gonna have to look at a picture of it, but like the mech is like all filled with animals, and like you can actually walk through and control it like an actual Metal Gear mech. If you remember from, was it Metal Gear Solid 2, where you can actually control the mech?
I don't know. I didn't play Metal Gear. I haven't never.
Oh no,
played
it was
Metal Gear.
4. It was Metal Gear 4. You could actually control the mech. You could actually control Metal Gear in a fight. So it kind of controlled like that. But man, this game is so bad shit. This game goes into some wild territory, and you're wondering like, what the hell is going on? How the hell is this happening? And like, yeah,
it is a lot like Goat Simulator, but I think it's way better personally, because like you think these controls are bad. Goat Simulator I think is even worse.
yeah. So that's part of the game. That's the game mechanic, is like, it's supposed to be bad.
Yeah, it's bad, but it's tolerable. Because I rode on a big like massive zebra most of the time that I played.
Oh yeah.
Because you can basically if once you get used to it or good at it, you can use your neck to swing through the town like Spider-Man essentially.
It's not as good as Spider-Man, but you know.
But yeah,
it's tolerable.
It's like slingshot, like a slingshot maneuver basically to get from one point to the other super quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And admittedly, you don't need to use that as much to traverse, because you could, sprint. So like, if you need to sprint, the deer walks on its like 2 back legs and its chest puffed out, and it's like this like drum roll that plays the entire time. It's like
Yeah. Yeah, it's all but just missing the spinning feet at the bottom.
Yeah.
Essentially that's what they tried to go for.
Yeah.
So there's actually so the end of the game kind of ends with, and this is you can have a bad ending and a good ending, because there is a sequence in the game where you have to fight yourself, I think, and it turns into kind of like the Matrix, where like the other deer that you're fighting is wearing these dark glasses, and you take a lightsaber and you have to defeat the deer, but then that deer splits into the Dark Lord deer so you have to fight both of them at the same time. And then, there's another large boss battle after that. And then you have the option to either kill your nemesis or to not kill them. So I imagine if you don't kill them, the game ends in a good way. But if you kill them, which I did, I killed them, the game ended bad, I think. So I got the bad ending. So there's a good and bad ending in this.
Cool.
Man, this game is something else because the game is so bad, I was still laughing the entire time. So I don't understand it.
Yeah. It's definitely a good bad game.
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, Dragon Age Origins, I played that for a couple hours. I was brewing beer last night, and brewing beer takes a few hours, so that's what I was doing with my Saturday night. And that game is so good. It's exactly how I remember playing it the first time. Of just the graphics, the smoothness of it. It's got there's such good story and good lore. I've played Inquisition quite a lot. I've played Dragon Age 2 quite a lot. I haven't played Origins that much. I maybe played it once or twice in my life. And so going back to it was kind of oh man, this is really treading down memory lane. But the frame rate boost makes it look and run so great, so smooth. And everything is all in kind of higher resolution than what if you were to play on your 360 on your TV now. So it's a huge improvement, and it stands up to modern day graphics right now. And it's a really good story, really good lore associated with it, and it really sets up the world that is Thetis, that is part of the Dragon Age, world. Otherwise, besides that, I played Kenna Bridge of Spirits on the PlayStation 5. That is a really good game. It's their first time making a game, this development company. They were supposed to make this game into an animated movie, and then I think somewhere in the development cycle, they just decided to just make a game out of it. So it turns out really good. It's a really good kind of open world, Legend of Zelda type exploration, combat focused world. So it's a very simple, easy, game to combat wise. You're just hacking, slashing. There's a light attack, strong attack, dodge, and a parry attack. Thankfully, you don't have to parry this because you know how some games make you either in order to survive, you have to learn how to parry. You have to learn how to parry. In order to survive, you have to learn how to dodge, and you have to learn how to dodge at the right time. This game is a little bit more forgiving with that, where this game actually, you can parry if you want, which I'm not good at parrying. So all I do is attack, dodge, attack, dodge. And that's pretty much my mechanic. And I'm doing pretty well with that. So, but no, the game holds up really well. I'm playing it on PlayStation 5. It runs really well. And I just started getting into Batman Arkham City again. I beat Batman Arkham Asylum last week, and I'm in Arkham City now. And man, that game is so good.
Man, I've been thinking a lot about these games that I need to go back and finish, and Arkham City is one of those games.
Yeah, it's so good because it's like a celebration of all the Batman villains.
Yeah,
the good contingent of Batman villains are in here. Mm-hmm. Most of them in minor form, but the fact that they're there, it's everybody's here.
Yeah,
the whole family's here.
Everybody's here. It's a Batman smash.
Yep.
Nice.
Wow.
So that's what I played.
Nice. Sick. Jesse, what are you playing?
So I haven't played a whole lot.
Fail.
I just essentially I played the Inscription on PC. That's that card game. Mm-hmm. That's really crazy and out there weird, where it starts after you finish the first chunk of the game, it makes you watch these videos that a guy uploaded to his YouTube, and it just goes weird places. But yeah, I talked about it basically already. But yeah, I'm I'm in the second stage of the game. I think there's a third stage before the end. But yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this one because it's much more complex card based, because it's mixing a whole bunch of different decks. So I've got to try to figure out how to make a deck work mixing all these different things or whatever, and each boss in each area has a different kind of deck. So it's a little bit more complex than the beginning one. So yeah, I gotta try to set up a strategy for it, but yeah, that other than that, like I've been playing a lot of Halo multiplayer, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
a lot of Halo.
It's good. Multiplayer is good. So
yeah. Well, and they got Fiesta right now, so I've been loving the Fiesta mode, because that's where you just start with 2 random guns every match, which is always a fun time.
Right. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Fiesta too, Jesse. It's really funny to see. Like, I read this article, I forget where it was at. I forget if it was either Game Informer or Pure Xbox, where it was Halo's monetization model really shows the generation gap in Xbox fans, where the people who loved Halo 1, 2, and 3 don't give a shit about the battle pass at all. And it offers cool cosmetics and stuff, but you're always going to get upgrades and armor and stuff. And then you get the people who are complaining about the experience and how slow the battle passes are. And I get that aspect of it, right? Because you want to feel like if you're paying for the battle pass, you can earn the stuff without doing the weekly challenges or the daily challenges, which is I don't know. I would like to get more experience without doing the daily challenges, but that's how they're trying to get you to engage with the game, right? And so I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a better balance with that. I would like to see a change in the battle pass, but Fiesta has been really fun. I think it's fun because I think it's a better way to learn what all the weapons do, because you just get them completely randomly. You get weapons, and it's I don't know. I like the impaler, the brute impaler gun that just shoots the big spike out of it.
Yeah.
I really like I forget which one, but it switches from a horizontal shot to a vertical shot. There's you know what I mean? That big kind of whatever. I really like that. I really like grappling to a flying banshee and kicking the guy out and just murdering them with their kicking them out as they fall down, and it's so fun.
I did that the other day, but my teammates were shooting the vehicle, so when I got into it, all I did was save the guy's life, because I kicked him out of it. He was still alive, and then it blew up once I was finishing the animation of hijacking it.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool. That grapple, it's such a small implementation, but it changes the game so much. It's so, I love it. I love the grappling hook. It's changed everything. Changes everything.
Yeah, because I think personally it brings a balance that has honestly been needed for a while when going against vehicles, because it's still early on in the game, so I was able to jump in a Ghost and just murder everyone for a long period of time till they could finally destroy it. But now having that grapple hook, if you know what you're doing, they could have stopped me way quicker. So because that was always a hard thing to deal with, is ghosts and stuff like that. When you didn't have something that made it easier for you to hijack it. So I think it brings a good balance.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. You said that's pretty much all you're playing, is that then, outside of So besides Halo, I've been playing Forza still. I don't know how much more I can say about Forza. It's just really, really a strong game. I'm making my way through Guardians of the Galaxy still. I'm really loving that story. I really think I think this sale goes on until Tuesday. I think it's what $38.99 on Xbox right now. It's totally worth that. Don't spend the extra dollars for the deluxe edition or whatever. Just buy the regular version and play through the story. It's so good. I mean, even if you're not a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like if you want good storytelling and a good adventure and a good, just it's so fun, man. Just
Good writing and good dialogue.
Yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of dialogue to the point where you think it's like, well, maybe this sounds like it's going to be overwhelming to just listen to for a while, but like I'm like probably halfway through the game at this point, and I haven't been annoyed yet, you know.
Yeah.
And which I think
That
is a
kind of
testament.
surprising because sometimes I think it is too much, but then again, it's like, yeah, but it's actually funny. Like it's actually good writing and it's actually good character building.
Yeah, and I really like the dynamic between Star-Lord and Rocket in particular. Like
Yeah.
they have a lot of banter back and forth, and in this story, not to like, it's not really a spoiler. I guess you learn about it in like the first 20 minutes of the game, but like the team started with Rocket and Star-Lord, and Groot, and then they got Drax and Gamora later.
Yeah.
And like you can just tell in the banter that they've been friends for a long time, or partners at least for a long time, and it's just really nice to see that relationship build and build and build, and it almost makes you go like when you're making choices that much harder, because you're like, yeah, I want to agree with Rocket because he's been my partner for so long, but I also want Rocket to get along with Drax and Gamora to the point where like I want to convince him, and it's like a nice balance of when do I agree with Rocket and when do I push him towards the other characters. And I wonder if that dynamic is going to change the game at all towards the end, you know?
Well, sometimes it pops up in the upper, left of the screen where it says Rocket remembers your kindness, or like Drax will remember that, kind of like, what the Telltale games did. So I always wonder if that's ever going to come to pass. I haven't played this game in a while, and I do want to go back to it.
Yeah. I've just got sucked into so many different games, like I've also been playing
hard, man.
I know. I've been playing Tales of Arise, which is really good. Although I think in the first hour you really only play about 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, really. It's such a story building intro. Woof.
Yeah, but it's cool. I like the whole Iron Mask aspect. I like what I said on the Boss Rush podcast, which you'll hear on Monday, I guess, is like, well, I guess if this comes out on Tuesday, you would have heard it yesterday if you listened to that show. I said the main setup kind of reminds me a little bit of Lost Odyssey in terms of he can't remember. Yeah, he can't remember his history. Like he can't feel pain, which kind of reminds me of the immortality of Kime from Lost Odyssey. And the girl in the game is just like out to bring down her kingdom or whatever, like really take out what are they called, the leaders of them. I think they're called what are they called? I forget what they're called in the game, but they're kind of like the main leaders of the bad group, and I really like it. I like the
Red Eyes.
Yeah,
I know their kind of like stereotype name is the Red Eyes, I think, or something.
Yeah,
but I forget. It's been a while.
Yeah, but I really like the game. I like the combat. I think the combat feels really good. To be fair, I'm only playing on story mode because like I don't have 75 hours to spend grinding in an RPG. But
it's same with me too, man. It's like I just rather like dedicate time to actually experiencing the story and experiencing the lore, as opposed to like, I don't want to have to like spend through hours of trying to kind of fight through the. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah. Right. I really like the beginning too, when you're like kind of figuring out why you're wearing the mask and you don't really know why. And then you kind of go through and you go to the doctor, Doc, and he kind of like tells you to slow down, but then you hijack a train at the beginning and to try to save the girl. And like the girl, by the way, is like, you can like the main protagonist can't feel pain, but anybody that touches the girl automatically gets electrocuted. And so like they have a bond because he touches her and doesn't feel it, and she gets kind of like, oh, this guy.
LaRon and I talked about this in an episode of Boss Rush a long time ago when this game first came out. How she's kind of mean. Like,
yeah,
I know she has I'm pretty sure she has a storied history on, why she is that way, and I have yet to understand why, but man, she's just a bitch.
Yeah,
like,
I just think I'm not that I mean, I'm obviously not that far, but it's
right.
I'm about to infiltrate the first base.
Okay.
And so I also like the leader guy that you're kind of following. He's kind of
the guy with the big arm.
Yeah, he's kind of like
he's really cool. I really like him
leader.
actually.
Yeah,
but he's like a nice guy. He's
yeah,
like a leader with a hard ass with a heart of gold.
Yeah. So I really like Tales of Arise. It's really good. I wish I could play it like on my phone with a controller attached to it and just play it in bed,
Yeah.
But yeah, I highly recommend it if you like action RPGs. The combat's really cool too. I like the combo system, even though it's kind of bare right now, but setting up combos is kind of cool. And then lastly, I played the Procession of what's like
Procession of Calvary.
Yeah, that one. It's so stupid. Like I played like 45 minutes of it, and I'm like, this is so stupid. It's funny, like it's really funny, but it's really funny in the dumbest way.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to everybody and like all the choices, and then you get to the part where you have to get on the boat to go south, and you have to go try to convince the crippled guy to give you his crutches because they're actually boat oars, and then you have to like try to convince the people around him to like, hey, you need to agree with me instead of him. And it's just like, it's real stupid. It's really funny. And you like talk to the guy at the beginning, the guy up on the chair where they're all worshiping him because he's like, what is his name? Immortal John or something.
Immortal John, yeah.
Yeah, and you ask him.
And a lot of these characters are actually based on actual like Renaissance paintings.
I know.
So Immortal John is an actual real person.
Yeah, which is even
depicted
funny.
in an actual painting. Yeah,
it's really it's even funnier because you like start asking him, "Are you really immortal?" He's like, "No, probably not." Like he literally just says, "Probably not." And he's like, Can I go commit murders?" He's like, No, you shouldn't go commit murders. And he's like, just one murder. I'm gonna go kill Peter of wherever. And he's like, okay, I guess you could commit one murder, but it has to be Peter. And you're like, okay, great. And your character gets all excited, and it's just real stupid. I don't know, if you're into like a really stupid game, it's the stupid game that'll make you laugh.
It gets stupider because there's a scene of a bunch of people being crucified, and every scene that's in this game is actually based on an actual Renaissance painting. So there was actually a scene later in the game where a bunch of people are being crucified, and there's someone selling T-shirts.
Yeah.
Of like people's faces on these T-shirts. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
it's essentially if they took the bumper to every episode of Monty Python's Flying Circus and turned it into a game, essentially.
Yeah, like, basically, because it's the same kind of like crude humor, and just it's really cool.
Yeah, it's funny. Highly recommend it if you're looking for something stupid. But that's all I've been playing, I suppose. So I guess we can move into the news. Guys, I have great news for Xbox. The Xbox Series S reportedly dominated this year's Black Friday sales. We've heard
because it was probably one of the only only ones that were in stock.
Yeah, I'm going to read this little paragraph here, and then we'll talk about it. A lot of it contributes it to being readily available in store. We've heard stories in recent times suggesting Xbox Series S has outperformed the Series X in various key markets, and now that appears to be even more good news. Wow, I can't read. About the smaller and more affordable model. According to Adobe Digital Economy Index, which recorded over 1 trillion visits to U.S. retailer sites, the Xbox Series S dominated this year's Black Friday console sales in America. Although the Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch OLED are still the must-have systems, chip shortages and high demand for these products are working in the favor of the Xbox Series S. Series S is also, quote, readily available at various retailers in U.S., including GameStop and Best Buy. The Ampere Analytics earlier this month estimated that Microsoft had sold around 6.7 million Xbox Series consoles combined, with GamesIndustry.biz adding that it's a, quote, 50-50 split in terms of the install base. It's good news. Phil Spencer said, remember when Phil Spencer said before these boxes came out that he sees the Series S selling more in the long run just because it's the cheaper box and a lot of people don't really care about resolution and frame rates and stuff, which is obviously what the Series X is for. Well, it's good news. It's good news. I'm glad to see that the Xbox is selling well.
Well, yeah, I mean, it comes down to when people are Black Friday shopping and they're in the stores and they want to pick up a video game system for their kids, what's available?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's there. So like if the Switch is out because Nintendo's not keeping up with production, if PlayStation is out because they're not, and Xbox is coming through, here you go. Like I said, I was at Target today and I saw 3 of them sitting in a display case, and I'm like, wow, and that's on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really want to I love this. Like, I have a Series S in my office to just record and stream at some point when, I feel like it. And it's, I love the design of the box. It's so small. Like, it is so small and compact and just looks nice standing up on my desk. And it's just like, man, because I just redid my whole side desk here where my gaming monitor and my Series S and my Switch OLED are right here. And it all just looks really nice because it's all white. First of all,
yeah,
it's just, I don't know, man. I love the shape and compact size of this box. It's so,
because it's even smaller than the PS2 Slim, isn't it?
No, it's not that. It's not that small. It's not that small.
PS2 Slim is real small.
Yeah, PS2 Slim is like, you got the disc drive and then like, I don't know, 2 inches of junk that make the PlayStation run, and it's just like, man. But this is like, I don't even know how to describe it, how small this thing is. It's there's a lot of power in this tiny box, and it's a good choice.
Yeah, because like you were saying, like, don't they it does good frame rate wise. They just only do 1080p, right?
Well, some games can reach up. There are some games that reach up to 4K on this machine. I think Ori in the Will of the Wisps actually can run at 4K at 60 frames on this box.
Okay.
But I mean, their target is 1080p. Some games can reach 1440p on quality mode, and my one issue was with Guardians of the Galaxy, and it didn't have any performance mode whatsoever on the Series S, and I was like, man, I really hope that this is some sort of viable option for the future of Xbox. And then they released a patch this week that added a performance mode with an uncapped frame rate. So it targets 60, but it runs between 50 and 60 frames, which is fine, right? Like, I mean, 30 was just totally unresponsive for that. So as long as companies are optimizing, like if you just want to play Xbox exclusives and stuff that's on Game Pass, this box is like the perfect thing for it, because Microsoft's obviously going to always optimize their games for it, and indies aren't really that, intensive, I would say. But like Guardians was like a real worry for me, and they kind of fixed that worry when they issued a patch by optimizing it. So I don't know. I still think if you are looking for an Xbox and you find this, even if you want a Series X later, like I would go ahead and get this because it's really a nice box.
Yeah.
I had went on Black Friday. I went to Target and Walmart, and I believe it was Target. They had like the whole section where it's just, like all the games that were on sale, and there was most that were left were honestly the PS4 games and stuff. And PS5, there wasn't really a lot to pick from for Xbox, which was a bummer because if I wanted to, I could have gotten Guardians of the Galaxy for $25 for PS4, but I kind of want to get it for for the newer console. So I want to, I would have rather had it for the Series X, but so I didn't end up getting it. But yeah, $25 it was only, but yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of those Xbox games were gone. So I think it's that also shows a little bit that there's a much more interest in it now than there was before. So
yeah, highly recommended. Buy Series S if you can't find a Series X. I would say the S is just a great little box. We're gonna move on though. Harmonix, guys, the makers of Rock Band and the first Guitar Heroes, has been purchased. Harmonix is being acquired by Epic Games. This comes from John Carson over at Game Informer. According to announcements from both companies, music and rhythm game developer Harmonix is being acquired by Epic Games. Epic Games made a statement saying on its website about the company's future, saying the Harmonix team will collaborate closely with Epic to develop musical journeys and gameplay for Fortnite while continuing to support existing titles like Rock Band 4.
Another good developer.
Yeah.
Down to be a Fortnite factory developer.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Jesse.
I was just gonna say, so like I wouldn't mind it if they do say like one of my all-time favorite games still to this day was the Amplitude and Frequency game for PlayStation 2. Like if they were to do something like that in the Fortnite world where, where you could play, because like Fortnite has some amazing like songs that you literally can only hear in Fortnite, and that's it. Like that's the only place you can hear those songs. So like, if they give you alternate ways to be able to interact with some of those songs, if you just don't want to only listen to it as your intro song or whatever, to when you're in your, waiting to play a game of Fortnite, like I'd be all for that if they just give you more opportunity to enjoy some of the original songs that they make. So like, yeah, like if they can put more to do on that kind of situation, then I'd be all for it. But yeah, like, yeah, we got to see what they end up doing.
Unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen. Fortnite has had success with a lot of their in-game concerts, and I think Fortnite wants to stay relevant and stay ahead of the curve. So I think they're going to use Harmonix for maybe some in-game features in Fortnite. So
maybe there'll be some kind of, maybe they'll put Rock Band in Fortnite.
I mean, something like that, which would be kind of cool, because they have two pretty decent VR titles. They have Fuser, and then there was like one other game that they had that was it was like dual wielding handguns and like shooting notes on the screen. God, I forget the name of it.
Oh,
but it was actually pretty decent.
I know what you're talking about. It was shoot. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what it was.
It's like I could see the game ahead of me, in front of me. But anyway, yeah, like solid titles. But and Dance Central on the VR was actually pretty decent. I played the demo of it, but yeah, it's one of those things when you're a developer that's stuck making one style of game. That's what you're going to be known for, and that's what you're going to be relegated to. So if Harmonix wanted to do something different, it's like they're not going to have the same amount of success. So I guess in turn, in the long-term strategy, this makes sense of Epic acquiring them and using them for what Epic wants them to be used for.
Yeah, but I also like, I don't know. They had that card game, right? That physical card game where you can like lay down different cards that created different beats or whatever. They did that weird, like the weird Switch version of that, which was like they called it a different name, but it was essentially the same thing. And then like they're still making Rock Band DLC. Does that mean Epic gets the profit from the Rock Band DLC that they sell from now on? Because it's like,
yeah, I guess so.
That game is still popular. I can't believe they're still making DLC for that, but apparently it's still like really, really, really popular.
Even though you can't buy the instruments anymore.
No. Which, I mean, if you go on like third-party sites, like eBay and whatever, and plastic instruments are incredibly expensive, especially especially the Xbox ones, because they had that proprietary, like receiving technology in it for the Xbox One, and you can't just use the regular Bluetooth one the way that the PS4 one did or whatever. So like, I don't know. Hope you guys still have your plastic instruments. Also, maybe somebody will now get a victory royale with a drum set.
Well, who knows?
Speaking of Fortnite, we're going to continue talking about that little number. Guys, Fortnite is ending.
Good.
Fortnite Chapter 2 is coming to an end. See the trailer and learn how to be a part of the action. Jesse, are you going to be a part of the action when Fortnite Chapter 2 ends?
Probably, yeah. I'll be honest. Like, once I finished my my battle pass, I essentially just dip out and I pay attention to other games. So like I'll jump in occasionally just to kind of see what's going on story wise, because they'll drop little things here and there. And right now there's like a countdown to I believe like basically the whole map being taken over by these like weird alien type block monsters or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably, once the new chapter starts.
So
check it out.
So it'll be like Chapter 3, Season 1 will be like the thing, right? This was like the big deal from the last time when they literally shut the game down for 2 days, right? To relaunch it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because every like they started it now where I believe at the end of every year we'll start a new chapter or whatever.
Interesting.
Or something like that.
Well, there's new rumors that the Matrix will be involved at some point, and Boba Fett is coming to the game. If you're reading this story, this also comes from Game Informer from Andrew Reiner, the editor-in-chief over there. That's enough Fortnite talk. We're gonna quickly give an update on the Activision Blizzard crap that's going on. Obviously, we talked a little bit about it last week.
I just went to a deep dive into finding Rock Band controllers.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Are they expensive?
Well, like say for example, if you go to the Rock Band 4 website, here's what they have for drums bundles. While bundles are no longer being manufactured, you still may be able to find them at your local retailer. So take a look. You can also find great deals, compatible hardware on sites like Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace.
Wow. Craigslist. Who uses Craigslist anymore?
I know. So if you wanted to buy the Fender Stratocaster one, it's on eBay for $370.
What?
$370.
What? $370? That's so stupid.
Yeah. A plastic guitar.
Wow.
Yeah, I have the Paul McCartney and the John Lennon one.
See, and that's the funny thing. How many people are sitting at home? I have a drum set and 2 guitars sitting here, and those things are probably worth over $1,000 at this point.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I have to say.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. I mean, that's way more interesting than what we're going to be talking about. God, I opened this story, and like, God, Bobby Kodak's face is just like staring at me with this big grin. Like he looks like a villain. It's some like, I don't know.
Well, some people, he is a villain.
I mean, I know, but I'm just saying, like, this headshot they used of him is very like piercing. He looks like the big twist in a movie. He's like the villain. So this is the new update as of the 22nd. This happened the day after we recorded last week. As per the Wall Street Journal and GameIndustry.biz, Bobby Kotick held a meeting with top executives to discuss the state of Activision Blizzard in the face of recent controversy and allegations. The CEO told his colleagues he'd consider resigning if the countermeasures in place to combat the developers' criminally toxic workplace culture didn't fix the issues, quote, with speed. Nobody knows what with speed means. This news comes days after the company's shareholders called on Kotick to resign. Consequently, some of the executives that Kotick conferenced with last week emphasized that a number of staff members want him gone. And a, quote, workplace excellence committee is being implemented, but whether or not the Activision Blizzard work conditions will change for the better or if Kotick will be true to his word about stepping down remains to be seen. So this sounds like I don't know. I feel like I really feel like he's not going to step down on his own.
No, admittedly, and I hate to defend someone like this, but admittedly, it's never the head of the snake that is the problem. We're talking, it's a lot of these problems that has been the underlings, has been the people underneath him that have been acting like, little assholes. But the problem is that when you have the worker bees causing the problems, you look to the head to solve the problem. Admittedly, part of his problem and part of why he's here at this point is that he knew of the toxic culture, but he did nothing about it.
Yeah.
So he partook himself as well.
Yeah, he partook himself, so he needs to answer for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
I mean, even defending,
it sounds like he's being way too stubborn. Yeah.
I mean, even defending some of the,
it sounds like he's being too stubborn.
Yeah, even defending some of the people who were involved in some of this, right? Like the guy who just left Treyarch because of all this, right? I forget what his name was, but like he was about to get either let go or fired, even though he was up for a promotion. And Bobby Kotick like stuck up for him and actually got him the promotion at Treyarch, right? Like the lead of Black Ops, the first 3 games, I think he was the lead, even up through Cold War, actually, I think. So I don't know. I feel like he needs to go. I mean, that's my opinion. I know that's a lot of other people's opinions.
The entire culture needs to change, and it starts at the top.
Yeah,
it starts at the top because you need to inspire confidence in your staff. Yeah, and we're talking from top down. You need to inspire confidence in your staff, and everybody needs to look to a leader to inspire that change. And this is where, if he can't do it, he could kind of work around and maybe, do some self-reflection. Maybe he could step in and say, I take responsibility for this. Let me fix this. Let me become better. Let me, because we need to kind of look forward. And a lot of times, not necessarily firing him is the best answer all the time. Let's give him a chance to fix it. If he can't fix it, or if he can't at least make an attempt, then you got to go. Yeah. So, this is where your staff is looking at you like, hey, man, get us out of this.
Yeah.
And if he can't, he's got to go.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Jesse.
I was just going to say, they, most of the people are just asking for a safe environment. And,
not a lot to ask for.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's ultimately what they're lacking, to be able to create as a safe environment, where people can feel safe doing their job and not, feel like they have to worry about being, harassed or, or threatened or whatever, it's just so bad. And I just kind of I'm completely done with it until they can figure something out. Because it's just, in my opinion, all this is just making it worse. And at the end of the day, the thing is, it really doesn't matter, because he could easily quit, and I'm sure he'll still get some kind of golden parachute, and he'll still be super rich.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, like we talked about a little bit last week, like his if they let him go, the amount of money he would make is like almost 2 years' salary for him. Like it was almost like $300 million or something stupid. It's like, he already, even if he left, he wouldn't have to work another day in his life, right? His kids wouldn't have to work another day in their lives, right? Like, it's just, I don't know.
He's just taking everything down with him.
Yeah.
At this point, it feels like, and it just sucks for all the people, who, because in my opinion, that just proves how much he does not care.
Yeah.
Like, he does not care that he is completely damaging this company to the point of where who even knows, even if he does finally go, if they'll be able to recoup, any kind of hope for their company.
Yeah. I mean, it's like even if he did stay like that, even if they found out that he did nothing wrong and everything that's like alleged against him is like found false, like the water's already muddied, right? Like, as long as he's at Activision, people will always look at Activision like this. So like, just for, even if he did resign and he just didn't, he could almost go out there and say, like, not claim any wrongdoing. He could just be like, look, I've run this company for whatever, I'm going to step away to not be a distraction or whatever. Like, he could do one of them BS PR statements, right?
Or take a different position within the company.
Or not even that. Like, even he could just leave and become a consultant somewhere, right? Like, I mean, that kind of thing. Although, like, his name is totally sullied, that I don't know if anybody would even want to be associated with him. But I mean, people have done worse, I guess. Maybe.
Admittedly, and I say this because we live in a world where cancel culture is real and it ruins people's lives. He needs to have the chance to redeem himself, and that's up to him. Everything right now, the ball is in his court. The card has been dealt to say, you're a piece of shit asshole who fostered a work culture of harassment, abuse, and tons of other allegations that are true at this point. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
You have a chance now to fix it. The ball is in your court now. If you're going to play yourself as the victim here, that is the wrong way to go about it. So he needs to own up to this. He needs to accept the fact that he failed as a CEO, as an owner, as basically the main guy at Activision. He needs to own up to this fact, admit wrongdoing, admit fault, and work to make it better, to save the company that he built. He built it into what it is now. But it's all gonna. But like Jesse, like you said, if he's just gonna sit there and watch it crumble, then it's like, what did you spend the last 20 years of your life trying to work for? To amount to nothing, to just go out like a fart in the wind, with a suitcase full of money and say, "See you later, suckers." If that's how you want to leave it, well, then we all know what a piece of shit you are. But admit it to yourself and fix what's broken.
Yeah,
and not to mention, he basically tried just throwing what's it called, Blizzard under the bus, and try to basically make it look like that's where all the issues were happening, because for the longest time people were like, oh well, that's just Blizzard. The Blizzard may be part of Activision, but Activision is its own thing, blah blah blah, like they've been trying to say. But
if it happens in your house, if the crime happens in your house, you are still responsible. It doesn't matter,
even if it's the pool house.
Yes, even if it's in the pool house, in the garden house, whatever it is, it's on your property. I admit that's what he's tried to do, is try to pass the buck, but that doesn't stop the fact that he is still responsible. And we found out that way more was happening in Activision as well. It's just, again, he was trying to throw them under the bus and make them take the hit for everything, trying to save his own ass.
So I don't know, I don't want to spend too much more on this. I just wanted to give a quick update on this. I'm looking something up real quick. So our next story is going to be of real interest to Xbox fans to see where this guy lands. But Fozzie Mesmar, DICE's head of design, who looked after Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront franchises, has left the company following the release of Battlefield 2042, Video Game Chronicles can reveal. This is from Video Games Chronicle. Obviously, I just said that. His departure was announced in an email sent to staff this week, in which he revealed he'd been planning to leave for some time once the studio's latest shooter had shipped. The former King Studio director had served as DICE's head of design since 2019. His role saw him helm the design of over 80 creative directors, game designers, and more on projects such as Battlefield 2042, Battlefront 2, and Battlefield 5. Quote, "It was an absolute pleasure to serve on the best design teams in the galaxy," he wrote in his email to staff. "The incredible design work that you do continues to inspire me every day. Thank you for putting some faith in me. I hope I didn't disappoint." Now, where it gets interesting is that later in this article, he's looking to stay in Stockholm, and his next job, which he hasn't announced yet, but is at a developer in Stockholm. I'm going to read you a couple studios that you might be interested in that are located in Stockholm, Sweden, if I can find them. We have. Where'd it go? We have Paradox Interactive. We have Massive Entertainment. We have where's the other one? The other big one. We have Hazelight Studios, which is It Takes Two and A Way Out. But the one that stands out the most for Xbox gamers is Machine Games. Machine Games, which is rumored to be working not only on Wolfenstein 3 and obviously Indiana Jones, but the Quake reboot or remake or whatever.
Hang on. You're missing the other big one.
What's the other big one?
They're working on Indiana Jones, bro.
I just said that.
You said the Quake reboot.
I said Machine Games. I said Machine Games, which is working on Wolfenstein 3 and and obviously Indiana Jones.
Okay, all right. I just wanted more emphasis on that, maybe.
Not listening to me, just like my wife. You're my internet work wife. Just don't listen to me.
Listen, you never pay attention to me.
Okay, that's fair. That's what my wife says too. So yeah, I think that might be a studio to look at. Maybe not. You know, he could end up at Starbreeze. He could end up maybe if they aren't bankrupt.
Starbreeze?
Yeah, if they aren't bankrupt or dead by then.
I thought that was literally dead in the water.
Oh, the other studio that you could look at too is Avalanche, is also located there. Mm. So what Contraband is that other shooter that they're working on, right, for Xbox? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So a lot of shooter studios in Stockholm. What do you guys think about this? What are you thinking?
Machine Games makes the most sense. Honestly, I think they got big projects that they need big talent for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it sounds like they've been talking to this guy this sounds like this guy has been talking about it for a while. So he probably wanted to see his project through and see the dumpster fire that it is, and just say, "All right, guys, I'm out. See you later. Bye."
I can't lean out of frame. My chair doesn't.
The whole. We couldn't be more passionate about this game, and we'll be supporting and evolving it for years to come. It's going to take that long to fix. Jesus.
Yeah, I think Machine Games makes the most sense too.
Yeah.
Unless Contraband has this weird, huge multiplayer component that he's interested in. I think you're looking for somebody with a multiplayer pedigree for something like Quake, or maybe Wolfenstein 3 has a cool multiplayer mode that you could. I don't know, or maybe he's like, "Hey, I know how to make guns feel good. Here's some cool new Nazi murdering machines."
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just assuming because of like his first person shooter pedigree, right? I mean,
could see better interactive, destructible things in the Wolfenstein games.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Well, honestly, like that's the one thing that I wish there was more of. I wish there was more like destructible, environments and stuff in games. Because I mean, some games will do it, but no one, say what you will about the Battlefield games, they're excellent at doing that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, huge, just amazing. Especially the vehicular battles.
Yeah.
are amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of people leaving studios, guys, Jesse, this one's for you in particular. Saints Row 5 artist signs on with State of Decay 3 developer Undead Labs. Technical art director at Volition joins Undead Labs as a principal technical artist. Also, the State of Decay studio is now over 100 employees, which makes it, one of the bigger studios that Xbox owns now. So it's exciting news. I would like to see a cool, weird art direction for State of Decay 3, right? I mean, I know it's probably going to be more of the same, right? But they could design some cool zombies or some cool, technical art director would be what? Like a, I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, my only thing with those games is I personally, I don't know if I'll get what I would like. I would honestly like the State of Decay games to be more of a sandbox game and less of a survival because man,
that's the problem. State of Decay 2 was a sandbox game, but it was not a sandbox game at the same time. It was too survival based. So I get what you're saying. Like, I think it could benefit more from being a little bit less survival, have it be more, palatable for some people that just aren't into the extreme survival elements of it. Admittedly, if you play it enough of it, and I played a lot of State of Decay 2 when it came out, and it was a rough go of it for the first couple hours. But once you kind of get over that, once you really kind of start to understand the game, it really starts to become fun.
Yeah. I think all I really want is just I like the idea of scavenging and bringing stuff back. I just wish it wouldn't deplete so quickly.
Yeah.
That was really the only gripe I had with it. Because I feel like even the first game was that kind of stuff mattered only if you decided that you wanted to care about it. Mm-hmm. Whereas this, in the second one, they kind of forced that a little bit stronger, I think, as far as to to progress in that game.
Yeah.
But it's cool though. I'm excited. I'm ready to see something about that game here soon, because I'm interested in what it's going to be. So
yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping it's the game that we kind of all want it to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, our last story, not really much to talk about with this one, but Xbox has confirmed that they are looking to change the way game DVR is done, right? A lot of it you have to upload to a OneDrive and then download onto a computer to transfer it. They're looking to change the ways that you can transfer it, the way that it works, how much you can save, etc. Do you guys use this? I use it sometimes, especially with Halo coming out. I've been recording some cool clips, but I haven't done the whole, I'm going to transfer this to my desktop and edit it around. You know what I mean?
This makes sense for content creators.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to create action shots of say, for example, Halo, that would be a good one to oh yeah, I want to save a clip of that, and then I want to edit it on my computer. So it makes more sense for them, for those people. But for me, I have no reason to use it because I don't really have content that I could use that for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not saying this isn't important. This is really cool that they're trying to improve the experience for a lot of people, because there's a lot of content creators out there that could definitely benefit from that. And if you want to make your content creators happy, you have to make them happy in this way so that they can be good brand ambassadors for you.
Yeah.
So it's in Xbox's best interest.
Yeah, it's one of those small features that only about 5% of the people will actually use and benefit from, but it's still a nice feature to have.
Yeah,
it's something we've talked about a lot of times on the show about Xbox and improving stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to see them just honestly make it where you can save clips straight to the cloud, because like like part of the problem right now is like if you want to record like an hour long clip, you have to get another hard drive and hook the hard drive up to it, and then make it so those clips save there, and that's the only way you can do any longer than like 5 minutes or 10-minute clips. So like, yeah, I think if they were to do something where you could like save it, like it would be saving to the cloud as it's recording, would be kind of cool. And then at least that takes out a step too, because you can open up your cloud on your computer and then just pull it off there.
Yeah. So that's it for news. That's it for the news. We're gonna move into our I don't know why I did that. We're gonna move into our segment where Stoy tells us what's on Game Pass. It's called Pass It On. What's new on Game Pass this week, Stoy? Tell us.
Well, we got a couple things coming this week. Besides the occasional drops that sometimes will happen. But we got Evil Genius 2 coming out on the 30th. So by the time you listen to this, Evil Genius 2 will be on Game Pass. This is basically a kind of like Evil Boss Simulator game where it's a satirical spy-fi layer builder. That's what they kind of call it. So it's basically like you're competing against other supervillains and you're trying to build the best layer you possibly can to protect yourself from the other supervillains that are trying to invade it. And then obviously you train your force of criminal minions and you try to invade their layers as well. So kind of an interesting, campy, cartoony looking style. I guess spy-fi layer builder simulator. I don't know. At least that's how I would read it. But that's coming out to cloud, console, and PC. So then you got Mind Scanners. Mind Scanners is kind of like a retrofuturistic psychiatry simulation game. And have you ever played the game Papers, Please?
No.
Anybody?
I haven't.
So,
no.
Papers, Please was kind of like a what do they call that? Border patrol simulator, where like you're sitting at a border and people are coming in and you're looking at their passports and you're looking to see like if they're able to go in. So you're in this dystopian metropolis, so to speak, and you get these profiles of all these citizens and you have to diagnose them as insane or not. It's a very weird, interesting concept. And you have to see, are they going to be a detriment to society, or are they crazy, but do they serve a purpose, kind of thing? And there's a lot of difficult moral choices and ethical dilemmas that you have to navigate through. So this actually kind of interested me. So I may play this week. But this comes out on console on the 30th as well. All you dads out there, we got a game for you. Corey?
Yeah.
Lawnmower Simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse, Lawnmower Simulator.
Yes.
Coming out on
Finally.
December 2nd. So it's been out for a while, but now it's coming to Game Pass. So experience the beauty and detail of mowing the Great British countryside in Lawnmower Simulator. And you can ride real-world licensed lawnmowers like Toro, Skag, Stiga, and more.
Cool.
There's a career mode. I don't know what that means. You run your own landscaping company?
I don't. You're asking the wrong person. I have no idea.
There's a free mode. There's a challenge mode. Yeah.
What's free mode? You just get a lawn and you just like mow it. Mow it.
But yeah, just like, hey, here's this castle. Go mow this lawn. Pick your lawnmower and just go at it.
Bonus points for running over the rabbits.
Bro, those 0-point turn lawnmowers. It'd be so good to just experience that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is for you all non-rich white dads out there.
Yeah.
For you to experience luxury. But this one's coming out on December 2nd on Xbox Series X and S and more.
Cool.
So otherwise we got Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sector. So basically this is a it's an asynchronous multiplayer system. It's called PBEM. I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
let's see.
What does it mean?
Multiplayer where two players compete by taking turns to plan and execute their moves on the same console.
Hmm.
I'm trying. I don't understand what this is. So, like,
They've
apparently
stumped him.
it's this,
They stumped him.
yeah, it's a turn-based strategy game, but I'm like trying to explain the gameplay of it, and it's like none of it makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes those like like little.
Yeah, but this is very heavily couch co-op involved.
Okay.
Couch co-op. That's a novelty these days.
Yeah, you remember those days?
Yeah.
Do
So
I?
that comes out on December 22nd. Console and PC.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a win.
Yep.
A win, guys.
For sure. There's a lot actually leaving Game Pass this week.
Ooh, what's leaving?
So, Call of the Sea, FIFA 19, Football Manager 2021, which I think that game just came out just recently.
Didn't it just?
Yeah.
Or was it Manager 2022 that just came out?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Haven, Hello Neighbor, More Cred, Valhalla, a cyberpunk bartender action game, and Destiny 2 Beyond Light will be leaving on December 8th, actually. So.
Oh yeah, all of Destiny is leaving Game Pass actually. Which
Well, that's actually kind of. I mean, it was actually surprising that it was on Game Pass to begin with, but.
well, the thing is it just came to PC Game Pass, like
Oh yeah.
a month ago, 2 months ago. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, I don't know. It makes sense. We went over it on Tower Casuals a couple weeks ago about like what's leaving and what's what like if you're only playing through the Game Pass versions of Destiny, like they're taking away a lot of stuff from people, and it's kind of weird. But also, if you're that into Destiny, you probably already own it anyway. And it's like I don't know. I think it was a thing from Bungie to just try to get more players in before the big expansion that drops, right? And this is clearly leaving at a time when the expansion was supposed to come out before they they pushed it, right? Or not canceled it, but delayed it, which now comes out in February. So I don't know. I feel like it's fine if it leaves. I wish that they would leave the base game, even though it's free to play on Game Pass, because now it means I can't play it through the cloud, which is where I do a lot of my bounties and stuff. So now I can't
Oh, that sucks.
I can't just plug a controller into my laptop when I'm somewhere and just do my daily bounties or do my daily strikes or whatever. Like, oh man, just that part sucks. But other than that, it's not really a big deal. I mean, to me, I don't think it's a big deal. I know
But
the internet was up in
that's
arms
pretty much
about
what's
it.
leaving. So.
Yeah. Well,
I think I have Haven saved, and I never. I mean, I had it downloaded, and I was always meaning to play it, but I think at this point I'm probably not going to play it.
yeah. I mean, I played like an hour of it. It was okay. It was weird. I don't know. I didn't really understand it, but maybe that's just me and I'm dumb.
Yeah, you're not dumb.
I'm a little dumb.
Okay, sure, you're a little.
Speaking of dumb, Games with Gold also were announced. Not thrilled with this choice.
No, sometimes this is hit or miss, and this happens with both Xbox and PlayStation. Like sometimes their free games are just like, okay.
Yeah. So The Escapist 2 is available from December 1st through 31st. Tropical 5 Penultimate Edition is available from December 16th to January 15th. Those are your Xbox One titles that are now backwards compatible for the Series S. Your 360 games, which will also be backwards compatible, are Orcs Must Die. I've heard good things about this game, but only like the PC version.
Yeah.
And usually people talk about Orcs Must Die 2 as the game to play, not the first one. So I don't know. It's free from December 1st through December 15th. And then Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet is available from December 16th through December 31st with your Gold or Game Pass subscription. Remember, if you don't plan on playing these games, add them to your library. You can play them later if you so wish. They're free. Free is free. So, all right. Let's get into the main topic of the show. Obviously, the Game Awards are coming up. Xbox is leading the way with their nominees, although Forza got snubbed, I feel, for Game of the Year. That's okay. It's okay. We're gonna
see. We had this topic because we talked about this over the weekend, because when we talk about the criteria for what Game of the Year is, what do you think the criteria for Game of the Year is?
It's got to be an action game, or
no, I mean,
like,
well, yeah, because when you think about it, you have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, and Resident Evil Village. They're all pretty much action focused, either first or third person games.
Yeah.
There's no sports titles ever get in here. No racing titles ever get in here. No, like, I mean, you'll get role playing games and stuff like that, whatever. But the reason why I think a lot of people are upset about Forza is that Forza is one of the highest rated games this year, if not the most highest rated game.
Yeah.
And it breaks a barrier of like not just being your typical racing game. Like it does something more than just, like it does something more for people, I should say, than just, the whole racing thing. Like there's just so much more to it. So
it's literally got stories all over the place. It's a celebration of culture. It's a phenomenal racing game, both in control and in gameplay mechanics. I mean, the style, the graphics, everything screams like this should be Game of the Year contender, but we're not seeing it on here at all.
Yeah.
So what I've always seen in the more recent Game of the Year award nominees is that they've always fit a particular mold of being action-focused third-person action games, or in the occasional first-person action game. And I think the only first-person action game that has won recently has been Overwatch, and that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think. I mean, like Jesse said, Forza Horizon 5 breaks the barrier of. You have racing fans, which can, whatever. I think a lot of quote unquote racing fans prefer motorsport, I would say, probably. But this gives you a chance to like break out of that mold, right? I mean, you can only I like Forza Motorsport. I played a ton of Forza Motorsport 3 and 4. I didn't really get into the Xbox One versions of the game, but I'm looking forward to the new one. And like you get away from the closed track style racing, right? And that can get even if you're a racing fan, that can get kind of tedious and kind of boring sometimes until you like unlock the supercars and new tracks or whatever. This allows you to kind of like drive around, just kind of see the world, and you can do the events, you can do the races, you can not do any of that. You can just drive around. Like it just gives you this freedom to do kind of what you want. And I saw some things come out from Reddit where people were complaining that there's no progression in this game, which okay, I get it, but like it's also like really, really great to play, and it's beautiful, and the accessibility stuff is great, and what it allows people who aren't racing fans to kind of compete with people who are racing fans in a nice kind of unique way, and I feel like that says a lot for a racing game, and that's kind of why I'm upset that it's not like. I think this should be in it. If you're going to choose an Xbox quote-unquote only game, it should definitely be in here over Psychonauts 2. Don't get me wrong, Psychonauts 2 is great. But there's a lot of bugs. There's some frame rate issues. Like, it's a great-looking game from afar, but once you get up, the textures are still kind of, like, pixelated and muddy and whatever. Like, I think Psychonauts 2 told a great story. The gameplay was good, not great. Like, I don't know. I still feel like Forza in every category, if you can compare it to Psychonauts, does better, except for the story, which what kind of story are you going to tell in a racing game? The Horizon Festival is back, and you're in Mexico. Cool. Great. That's why we're in Mexico. I don't know. Kind of really bothered me that Forza got snubbed, but
at least it snuck its way into a couple other categories like best audio design and obviously best sports game and stuff. But
I mean, it'll win best sports and racing game, right? Like, I mean,
it better.
If what else is even in there? I don't even remember. It's like FIFA, right? I think is.
Well, yeah, FIFA always sneaks its way in there.
Mm-hmm.
You got F1 2021, Hot Wheels Unleashed, Riders Republic, and yeah, FIFA 2022. So.
Yeah, I mean, these all kind of feel like fillers just to fill out a category, right?
I'll have to say FIFA F1 2021 is a phenomenal game. Like, in terms of simulation, and it's got a story mode in it too. Like, it's a really good F1 racing game. Is it better than Forza Horizon 5? I mean, I think Forza Horizon 5 is more accessible than F1.
Yeah.
But, I'm a simulation racing guy, so I could appreciate F1 maybe a little bit more than Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
How many times have I said Forza? I can't say Forza.
I mean, why don't you try a couple more times? We'll tell you when you're there.
Forza.
I mean, so a lot of Xbox did sneak its way into a lot of these categories. So I mean, even if you're looking at even Deathloop, right, which is technically owned by Xbox now, and it will be coming to Game Pass next year, probably September, I think they said, right? So Deathloop is in a lot of these categories, which is great for arcade. Psychonauts 2 is in a lot of these categories. Forza is in a lot of categories. Age of Empires is in Best Sim, which is nice to see. So Xbox has a lot of representation, which is great. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Xbox's representation in this?
I mean, I wish we had more.
Yeah.
But admittedly, they got some bangers in here. Psychonauts 2, I've heard so many good things about.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's up for Game of the Year really speaks to what it said to people, or what it presented to people, that it impacted them in a way that stood out. Because obviously we got 2 PlayStation 5 representations.
Mm-hmm.
We got 1 Nintendo representation, and the other ones are multi-platform.
Mm-hmm.
So thankfully we at least have an Xbox One.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just the wrong Xbox One.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, like I said, I've heard good things about Psychonauts 2, but I think next year we're gonna get. Like I said, we keep talking about Xbox is on the rise with their exclusives, so I think Game Awards 2022 is gonna feature a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing I'm afraid of is usually the games that come out at the end of the year, like Halo. It could be the most amazing game in the world, and it still gets overlooked the next year.
Yeah, but that could hit a lot of different categories, though, right? I mean, even if it's not "quote unquote" game of the year material, it could be best ongoing game, best action game. I think you could get a lot out of Halo.
This is why it's kind of crazy to me that this is held so early, and there's still games that are coming out this year that kind of get snubbed. Like, Halo's getting snubbed this year because just because it's coming out literally, I think the same day this is being casted. It's like, that kind of sucks because you want to give credit where credit's due, and then it's like, okay, well, we'll have to push it to next year, which fine, but I don't know.
See, that's the thing, is I do think that the year should end out with the Game Awards being.
That's why when the
beginning of the
cast
next
does the
year.
Game Awards, the EXP cast does the Game Awards, we do it in the beginning of the next year.
Yeah.
To give everybody a fair shake.
And they used to do it that way, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of changed it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Yeah, it's just kind of annoying. Like,
Can I say, why the hell is Cyberpunk in here?
I know. That made me laugh.
For best RPG, for best role playing?
That made me laugh so hard.
Really?
It's like, God, what are you doing?
Yeah. Who the hell
yeah,
put this in there, and we're like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
So.
Yeah. I think Sea of Thieves definitely got snubbed for best ongoing game, though.
Yep.
Because, I mean, they had that massive Pirates of the Caribbean thing that
Well,
brought a lot of people in. You
Yeah.
know?
They had 2 pretty big expansions this year, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like they had the Pirates one and the one that just released a couple months, September-ish?
They've I mean they're always bringing a lot to that game. Like it's constantly getting new content, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like a couple times a year. So
You know what always cracks me up? The one category that always cracks me up is best family game.
No, I know, because it's always all Nintendo games.
Why don't we just change the name to best Nintendo game?
yeah.
There's a non-Nintendo game in there,
Yeah, one. That's
which
it.
is not
The
even
other
a
4
family
are all
game.
Nintendo games.
Which is not even a
Yeah.
family game. So
It's a game about divorce.
Yeah.
I want to give a couple shout outs here for Xbox specific games. Most anticipated game goes to Starfield from Bethesda. Obviously going to be an Xbox exclusive. Great. It's great that people are so excited for that game. Forza got it for innovation and accessibility. Forza also obviously got it for best sports and racing. Age of Empires best sim and strategy game, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Simulator
dude, this Cyberpunk and best role playing just cracks me up.
Don't forget Microsoft Flight Simulator and best sim and strategy. So that's 2 Microsoft games in one category.
Right, Flight Sim.
Yep.
Best sim and strategy. Let's see here. Best narrative, Deathloop and Psychonauts 2. I mean, I know Deathloop's not on Xbox yet, but I'm still going to count it in these. Let's see. Nothing for best multiplayer. Best game direction, Deathloop and Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts 2 got a lot of nods in here.
Mm-hmm.
Best art direction, Deathloop, Psychonauts 2. Let's see. Best action game, Deathloop. Best audio design, Deathloop and Forza Horizon 5. Games for Impact. There's nothing really for Xbox there, but there's a lot of games that appear on Xbox. I think that in games innovation and those 2 categories are like really good categories that people should be looking at. Those games. Those are very important categories, I think, that don't get enough recognition and never will get enough recognition. Best action adventure, Psychonauts 2 got that. Best performance, 2 actors from Deathloop, Jason E. Kelly and Ozioma Ekagha. I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry. I know I probably butchered it. And then Game of the Year, Psychonauts 2 and Deathloop for Xbox Game Studios games.
I hope the voice actress for Lady Dimitrescu wins because I mean, you know, for having such a minor role in the game, like she freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, she nailed it both in just the presentation and just the voice to really make her stand out.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think a lot of us are more interested in the announcements, and
that's mostly what the Game Awards are.
Yeah,
let's be real.
I know, I'm aware. I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the Xbox games that were nominated, but I kind of want to pick your guys' brain. Like, what games do you think we're going to see from Xbox here? Because they are always huge at the Game Awards, right? They obviously revealed Hellblade there with the Xbox Series X. They do a lot of reveals there. I know the big rumor right now is that Hellblade 2 will be re-revealed there with gameplay, and also Compulsion's new game, Project Midnight, will also be revealed there. Those are the 2 big rumors right now. Is there anything else you guys think is going to be revealed there, or what do you guys think of these rumors going around?
Dragon Age.
You think Dragon Age will be re-revealed?
Yeah. The last time we got a reveal was like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was that teaser trailer, and the development of that game has had its ups and downs. I think 2018 was when they literally restarted development, and so they've been busting their ass, working hard at kind of making a good game. And then there was, I don't think it came out during the Game Awards, but they had this like kind of like this pre-development trailer where they were just showing concept art and rough gameplay footage. So I think they're targeting to have it come out in 2022, targeting quote unquote. And there was a rumor of a June release date being a thing. So I am foreseeing a hefty gameplay trailer. Maybe not hefty, but at least a decent gameplay trailer, because BioWare always comes up with it. You know, where last year it was Mass Effect 4 and the Legendary Edition, obviously.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think they're going to definitely come out with some Dragon Age.
You think we'll get anything Mass Effect here? Or you think they
No.
just want to focus on... Because they did release that poster for Mass Effect, the next Mass Effect, quote unquote. That was it was the crater in the snow, but it was clearly a Geth head, right?
Yeah. Yep. I think we're a ways away from that. I think we're not going to see probably anything substantial from that game for another year or two. I highly doubt we're going to see any gameplay. I'm thinking 2024 for that game to come out for sure.
Yeah.
At the earliest. Way earliest.
Yeah.
So me personally, and this is spoken from a Mass Effect fan, like rabid fan. I don't think they should have posted that trailer. I think once people get the taste of it in their mouths, now they're going to clamor for it and they're going to demand it and they're going to want it, and there's going to be tons of stupid YouTube videos about people speculating when this freaking game's going to come out. And then BioWare is going to be under this immense amount of pressure from these outside dipshits. They're going to say, hey, when's this game coming out? You should make it like this. You should make it like that. I know because I play your games all the time and I'm smarter than you. You know, like, let them make the game. Let them make the game. They could have just came out to say, hey, we're working on the next Mass Effect game. And that's it. Leave it at that. Let them work.
Yeah.
Rant over.
They shouldn't have, like, I kind of agree with you. Like, they shouldn't have shown that trailer unless they were going in and out something really, specific or hard evidence that they're like, hey, we can actually show gameplay in 6 months and we'll see you then, right? Like, this is a teaser for what you're going to see in 6 months. And as much as I love Mass Effect, man, Andromeda was like, it was okay, but like, it just left such a sour taste on the brand, right? And then obviously the Mass Effect team went to work on Anthem, which was also not, well received, we'll say. Although it is $8 right now.
Anthem is a good action game. Like, they nailed the combat extremely well in that game.
The flight is great too.
The flight is great. The ground mechanics, everything about it is great. The motion capture, the acting is really good, but no content. Shit for content. There's nothing to do in that game, and that's what killed it.
Yeah, and like Jesse, even when we were kind of playing for a hot second, which I know you played a lot more than I did, but like a lot of the mission structure for Anthem was like, hey, go here, shoot a bunch of guys, collect this thing. Hey, go to the next area, shoot all these guys, collect this thing, and then go back. And then like all the story stuff happened in the fortress, right? Like I forget what it was called. I almost said the tower, but that's Destiny. And I really wish, like, I don't know. I Anthem was a cool idea that just didn't land, right?
Pun intended.
I think it honestly what it needed to be is it just needed to be an actual campaign game, and because like they did have the cool like puzzle solving where you had to solve puzzles, in the you're not just shooting guys. There was some puzzle solving and things that they threw into the campaign, but yeah, it lacked from like a focus on a story beat. And
they were supposed to fix it. They were supposed to come out with Anthem 2.0, but last year they abandoned it in favor of putting all hands on deck on Dragon Age 4.
Yeah,
which we need a Dragon Age 4 at this point. Like we need it. I need it. BioWare, please.
I've never played Dragon Age, and I own all of them.
Son of a bitch, Corey.
Which one do I start with? Stoy?
Well, Origins is good. Like I said, it's got the frame rate boost on it, so it holds up really good. Dragon Age 2, it's like there's a love-hate relationship from the fan base of Dragon Age 2, because it was different in terms of scope. It wasn't as big as Origins was or as Inquisition is, but it had a really good story, really good characters, really good character development, but it was marred with kind of like you're repeating the same dungeons over and over again, and it was almost too linear based. And then Inquisition just like blew it out of the freaking water. You know, it actually won Game of the Year at the Game Awards when it came out.
Yeah, that was the year where people were kind of like, it was that and what was the other big game that came out that year that people were like, it was like either they gave it to Dragon Age or it came out the year that the consoles came out, right? So
yeah, because I remember this game came out for both systems.
Yeah, was it like Last of Us or something like that?
No.
Hold on.
Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Hearthstone, and Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor was the other one that people were like, it was between Dragon Age Inquisition and Shadow of Mordor, which I think a lot of people thought Shadow of Mordor was better, at least on the fan side of things, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I like going back on like the topic, like I do think that we're gonna get some stuff on Gunk, because that will be out like 10 days later. So because we, you know, like they just recently just kind of dropped the release date on Twitter,
Right.
And we really haven't gotten any actual update, you know, or like reveal of that game for the most part. So I think we might see more of that. And you know, and maybe even to remind people that it comes out soon, in case they missed it.
Yeah. Man, I really want to see more Hellblade. I want to see what kind of game that is, because I like in my head, at first I was like, man, I really want it to be like Horizon Zero Dawn, but then I was like, no, I feel like the God of War treatment would treat that game way better.
Yeah, for sure. It needs to be single player, needs to be narrative focus, and it needs to be kind of linear in nature.
Yeah. I think Stoy, was that us that was talking about that at some point, maybe last week or a couple weeks ago, or was that someone else I was talking about that with? The Hellblade stuff.
I don't think it was with me.
Okay. I wanted
personally. I also expect something from Forza Motorsport.
Yeah. I want Hellblade to be a bigger, grander experience, because like as much as I love that first game, I feel like the combat could have been a little bit better. I feel like, I mean, obviously Ninja Theory didn't have the budget that they do now, and that forced them to tell a nice contained story, and they did some unique things with the environment and stuff. But I really think that with a Microsoft-sized budget, the ideas that they did with the environment could be totally crazy on the Series X, and giving it that God of War like feel and kind of epicness, right? And they kind of showed that with the big like troll mountain monster thing, right? They kind of showed that a little bit. I want to know what they could do in that space to just make it shred.
Well, honestly, I want them to focus on what I think was, you know, one of the best parts of the first game, is really messing around with the audio stuff. You know, like I really want them to see. I want to see that like step up a notch from the first one, and you know, like really mess with my mind. You know, and
that's what I hope they really take advantage of the Series X hardware, because when you see a game like Medium, you know, come out, that the developers Bluebird team has said we needed this power of the Series X to make the game that we wanted to make. And I think it's going to be the same with Ninja Theory, that this game was born to be made as an exclusive Series X title that can take advantage of the hardware, so you can actually maybe demonstrate and showcase maybe a lot of those traumatic visions that maybe people with psychotic disorders go through, where you can actually, the hardware can actually deliver on those features, I guess, if that's the right word I want to say.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure. I really just want some great Xbox exclusives to like just show what these studios have been working on for so long. And
I mean, my dream would be some perfect dark gameplay, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. I wouldn't mind seeing some Perfect Dark, maybe like a Fable almost, like a new Fable. Although I bet Perfect Dark's a little bit further along than Fable is at this point. I feel like maybe.
Yeah.
That Indiana Jones game.
Yeah, I want to see some Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
a Wolfenstein 3 reveal or something, because they did say that's happening eventually, but they didn't give a time frame, so maybe not. Maybe after Indiana Jones or whatever.
I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised if Xbox came out swinging with quite a few big ones.
Yeah.
You know,
What
some
they
of the
say
ones
that-
we've been waiting for a while for. I highly doubt we'll see anything new
Yeah.
or surprising. I think it's just going to be like, hey, remember that game we talked about a while ago? Here it is.
Yeah. I feel like if they do a big,
they have so many cards.
I feel like if they do a reveal, like a big reveal, like it's going to be something like Project Midnight from Compulsion, because that's really the only studio we don't know what they're working on, right? And in the
Or what is that,
Coalition, I guess.
Avowed from Obsidian? That'd be kind of cool.
What? What'd you say?
If we got to see some Avowed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Avowed and
Yeah, that-
Outer Worlds 2, right? And then Grounded, I guess.
Yeah.
Jesse, what's up with Grounded, by the way? You were the Grounded guy here.
So they've added a lot to that game. So there's like they've got a whole like sandbox area that's like a desert where you've got to like build stuff to like cross it without getting burned, and like they've added a lot of crazy mechanics and just really cool stuff to that game. Yeah, I every once in a while I'll drop back into that game and just kind of see where it's at, or at least read up, or like keep up with it. But yeah, they just recently have done a bunch of stuff, added a bunch of stuff to that game that's changed it up quite a bit. So yeah, I don't. It's weird with that game because I don't know if there is going to be a date where they're going to be like, okay, this is the full game. Like, I don't quite know. Like, it's kind of odd what they're doing with that, because it's like Sea of Thieves, but yet Sea of Thieves actually had a release, like full release date.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very similar to Sea of Thieves, how they're dealing with that game.
Mm-hmm.
They're adding so much stuff constantly to it, and maybe that's just it. Is they wanna, once they feel like there's a massive like 100-hour game there, then they'll consider it to be, finished. I don't, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what exactly their final release plan is for that game.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, maybe we'll see more. I don't know. So yeah, anybody else have anything to say before we kind of wrap it up and get out of here?
No, I think everything's been said pretty much.
We said it all, guys. You heard it here first.
Yeah, we said a lot.
We did.
Yeah,
we did. And
I even sang a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna edit that out, right, Jesse?
nah,
No.
put music behind it.
It's
Okay,
it's
all right.
gonna be the all Jesse singing cut.
Oh dear.
Jeez. On that note, no pun intended. This has been Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. Use the hashtag Arsenal X if you're trying to get to Arsenal X. You can follow us on YouTube, on Twitch at Boss Rush Network. You can find the show every Tuesday morning on your podcast service of choice. Stoy, where can we find you?
Besides following me on the Arsenal X podcast, guys, you can follow me on EXPcast. I'm part of a video game podcast. We record every week, Mondays and Thursdays. Our new episodes drop. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at EXPcast. You can also follow my personal Twitter at Stoy, MKE8.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Do you ever get concerned when like Jesse all of a sudden starts laughing randomly?
Kind of. Sometimes.
Well,
And then so that's immediately happens after I stop talking. And now I'm like, did I say something funny or stupid?
Well,
No, I just cracked myself up by saying sick. Because
Yeah, see?
You can find me at I am Corey HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting the Boss Rush podcast every Wednesday night. Some new stuff is happening. Check out our merch store. Go to bossrush.net, click on store, or you can go to redbubble.com/bossrushnetwork to get your Arsenal X or Boss Rush Network gear. Check out our other shows and check out our website at bossrush.net. I want to thank everybody so much for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
It's on.